Hey everyone, Ben here and welcome back to the channel. As followers of Broca Sim Racing will know, I've been a long-time fan of RaceRoom. It's been the core focus of this channel from the very beginning, and by and large I've found it to be a fantastic sim, striking a great balance between authenticity, accessibility and affordability. But the start of 2022 has seen the amount of RaceRoom content on this channel dip, and although I started to address why in a recent community post, I know many of my subscribers are largely here for RaceRoom. So I thought it would also be worth making a video covering some of the challenges facing the title as I see them, and why there are reasons to be a bit more optimistic about the months ahead. Most importantly though, I want to be really clear that this is not intended as a pop at the developers of RaceRoom or the title itself. Every sim has strengths and weaknesses, most have ups and downs at different stages, with gaps between new content releases, persistent bugs, etc. The fundamentals of RaceRoom remain excellent in my opinion. I'm also acutely aware that it's the easiest thing in the world to sit and criticise or suggest how things could be better when you're not the one facing the practical challenges of actually doing those things. I don't want to be that guy. I want RaceRoom to succeed, so hopefully everyone who watches takes these reflections in that spirit. As ever, they're just my thoughts, you might see things differently, so whether you agree or disagree, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. And if you do enjoy the video, it really helps the channel to leave a like and consider subscribing for more sim racing guides, races and reviews. This one will be quite quick to deal with, but the first couple of months of 2022 unfortunately saw RaceRoom beset with at least one bug that would see drivers essentially drop out of the official standings within a race, causing havoc with race standings but also things like in-game flags. At its worst, this not only screwed with the presentation of a race, not ideal for YouTube, but it also meant you were in situations whereby the driver in your mirrors was not appearing in the standings and you had no idea if you were fighting for position or not. Likewise, if you were the car that fell out of the standings, you'd spend the whole race receiving blue flags while scrapping for position. The fact this went on for many weeks is obviously not ideal and may well have caused quite a few players to put the sim down, at least for a while. However, at the time of recording it seems these bugs have been squashed, which is fantastic news and hopefully will make for a more stable online experience over the coming weeks and months. If we rewind back 8 months, RaceRoom ranked racing felt like it had huge momentum behind it. Servers were well populated, YouTubers with far bigger audiences than me were playing it, and small improvements were beginning to be made to the system, including the addition of a daily longer race that helped generate real interest in the platform. In subsequent months, the number of servers on the schedule gradually increased, with extra rookie servers and longer races being added. And at the turn of the year, the first season schedule was announced, with a number of races badged as official season races. Yet despite growth in the number of servers, if anything my impression is player numbers have gone down quite significantly, even at peak EU hours. Outside of the rookie servers, I have found it increasingly difficult to find a stacked grid to race in, even in series that are normally packed like GT3 and World Touring cars. It's worth stressing that this is only my impression. I don't race at all hours, nor do I have access to the actual figures. It's also plausible that the player base remains roughly the same, but it's being spread too thinly right now to guarantee the levels of 20+ car grids that you used to find during 2021. Either way, for me at least, it's made it much more difficult to quickly find a race in the spare time that I do have, let alone produce YouTube content. Ultimately, that has impacted on my enjoyment of the sim in the short term, and it's led me to pick up iRacing more often than I otherwise would. The good news is there are, I think, ways to fix these issues that developers could consider doing relatively quickly. Firstly, I think it would be sensible to reduce the number of servers available back to something like it was in the summer of 2021, with a fixed number of rookie races at set tracks, 4 other hourly sessions across a range of popular disciplines, and then a smaller number of longer feature races. This would have the direct effect of clustering the player base into fewer races and increasing grid sizes. Yes, it would mean less variety on the schedule, but I'm here to race, so the trade-off of fewer combinations for better populated grids is a no-brainer to me. Secondly, I think there is room to improve the implementation of seasons for Season 2. This could again involve reducing the number of official seasons, but there are other even more important steps to be taken here in my opinion. Publishing the schedule ahead of the season will give a real sense of a proper championship unfolding week to week. Awarding and tracking championship points in each round will do likewise, as is the case in iRacing. Timing the release of new content drops around the beginning of new seasons would also help, as would increasing the incentives to engage in them, such as through small VRP participation bonuses for completing 8 rounds. These steps could help get more of a buzz around the core offer of RaceRoom ranked racing once again, which for me has always been the major selling point of the title, the promise of a more affordable, accessible and even more enjoyable online racing platform to iRacing. But to really regather momentum in 2022, RaceRoom will also need a pipeline of compelling new content, something which again has felt like it has waned just a little bit in the last 6 months. The imminent arrival of Ferrari and the DTM 21 field presents an opportunity to garner new interest or pull lapsed players back to the platform, and the recent addition of Assen was also welcome. I'm also expecting to see new World Touring Car content in 2022 as per usual, although I don't think anything has yet been communicated about that, and other cars that were teased last summer, like a new generation of F1 car, could yet also emerge. But a more structured content release plan with a clearer sense of what is coming to the sim over the next 6 months would really help. Obviously I know life is not as simple as all that, and I'm sure the developers would love to do it already, but I really think it would help build a sense of anticipation and momentum behind RaceRoom as we head into the rest of the year. So there you go, the top line reasons why you've seen a bit less RaceRoom on the channel recently, and a few thoughts on what I think could get ranked racing back on track so we can all continue to enjoy one of the best sim titles on the market. Let me know if you agree or disagree in the comments, and now that the bugs have been squashed, there's a much better chance I'll be able to bring you more RaceRoom over the coming weeks, so look out for that too, and I'll see you on the next one.